Hello, and welcome back to Dare to Live with Mary at Jagbe. How are you? Oh my goodness, I am so excited. How you guys doing? I hope that everyone is doing okay. Thank you so much. I saw the number of people who listened in to the last episode, Back to Basics one, and I really would love to hear your feedback, really, to know how this is impacting you, what your thoughts are and all of that. I really would love your feedback. So if you can, please just drop me a comment. I also have my Instagram handle, and also, yeah, just drop me a feedback. I'd love to hear. So let us dive into today's topic. So back to basics part 2. So last week, I spoke about back to basics, the part 1 of it, and where I started to tell, and share a lot about, getting back to how things should be, and that there's an order to how things should be, And the reason why the earth is kind of like groaning and in pain is because a lot of us haven't learned, right? We're just so overwhelmed by the happenings of life that life is life in a lot of people, of course, I was in that category. Until I realized what I needed to do, until I realized that, what, girl, you need to make a decision, because elsewise. So I'm just going to share a story, just a little story to reiterate one of the things that is needed for us. So I currently work remotely, but months ago I was actually working with an organization and in an environment that required that I put in a lot of work. So working in that environment where it required a lot of work, my timing and everything, and I just realized that back to back, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of, of course I was aware of this before I got on the job, but how sometimes we agree to certain commitments, and I'm sure that a lot of us do this, where we agree to certain commitments, and then we get into that space where we've committed to, and we just feel like running out of it because our expectations, right, doesn't match the reality of what we then get to face. So that was the situation with me, because I thought, oh no, I could do it, it's a shift job, I can do it. I went and everything, and I was morning shift, night shift, morning shift, night shift, morning. Man, guys, it was really tasking. In the beginning, the euphoria of getting into something new was so exciting. I was like, yeah, I got this. I was feeling myself and all of that, only for it to be just a few months into the job, and the first thing that started to happen to me was I started to have a swollen feet. And of course, because I was sitting down for longer hours than I was moving around, I wouldn't even take pee breaks. It was that ridiculous, right? Now, it wasn't because this was what the company required of me. It was just what I felt that I had to put into to be very, again, productive, in quote, right? So I felt that I had to do that. So I would just sit for long hours. I won't drink water, and all of that. I won't drink enough water. I'll probably just take a few sips the entire day, and I was running so hard, trying to be a good, there was there was a joke that we had amidst my colleagues where we're like, best CCR of the year, best CCR, I would laugh. We literally would laugh at each other and hail each other, when we're going out of our way to do this. And I said that because I'm just sharing this part of, the gist, because a whole lot of us, right, are also doing these things where we know. It's not that we don't know. Because how there are signs, there are telltales, but we're trying to outshine a mentality. We're trying to outshine something. And so that's not to say don't put in your best at what you do. Do definitely 100% put in your best at what you do. But in this context, right, it is the fact that we go overboard and out until we run down ourselves. I mentioned in the last episode that even machines, they have they run down too. They have to be oiled. They have to be, you have to put in fuel, you have to put in oil, you have to put in whatever, machine oil and all of that for it to run effectively and efficiently. But we do not take that break. We do not regard our body like that. We do not even have value for ourselves like that. And the reality of this is that it is the truth. And I know that for some people, it's not so easy to make a decision. But guess what? If you understand the value of your life, you will put a value to it yourself. I'll take that again. If you understand the value that you are as an individual and the value of life, you will begin to make certain adjustments to make sure that your life goes in alignment. There are a lot of, I used to say something to some friends and be like, there are some deaths that are not necessary. There are some deaths that are not necessary that could have been avoided if we did the right thing. Now I'm talking about the fact that we lack, body boundaries, and we just do not take care of ourselves until we get to that point where we are literally breaking down. And some people don't even make it. Some people just slump and then that's the end of it. So I'm sharing this with us because it's important that we understand the value of ourselves and the value of our lives. Because the reality of the matter is, if anything happens to you today, think about it. The things or the people that you feel like, you have to live for, you have to do this for, will survive without you. So if you want to be a part of the package of their survival or of their thriving, you've got to learn to take care of yourself. So back to my gist, right? So I realized that I was beginning to have swollen feet. So I had to do it. I ran a test and I realized that, first of all, I searched on Google and I saw that, when you begin to have swollen feet is related to your heart, that kind of thing. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, we need to slow down here. We need to slow down. I've never had a swollen feet in my life. I used to think swollen feet was just a case of pregnant people, but I'm not pregnant yet. So, so I was having swollen feet and I just thought to myself that, Mary, we need to check you. What's up? What's going on here? And ran the test, found out that I was having a lot of misalignment. I was having this, I was having that. I was very bloated. Like, you need to have seen me. I was wider. I was wide. My tummy was heavy. I couldn't use the toilet well. Or pardon me, I couldn't use the loo well. As in, everything was just boom. Nothing was going anywhere. All the toxins, every toxicity, right? Everything, the toxins, everything was just stuck in my body. Nowhere, no flow, nothing. Even water I wasn't drinking well because I was just running myself to a point of no return. But it was when I realized that my feet was getting swollen and I wasn't myself that I realized, Mary, you need to stop. You need to slow down. You need to take care of yourself. You are important. You are important. And for somebody who's listening to this, I want you to know that you are important. You need to slow down. You need to rest. You need to sleep. For some of you are not sleeping well. You need to release that burden and sleep. You need to shut down on social media and sleep. You need to relax. You need to take, for some of you, it might just be maybe a day, at the spa or something. Whatever it is that you know that you will feel relaxed, let me tell you something. The reality of the matter is that life will go on with or without you. So you get to decide, what will it be? Will it be with me, where I get to make an impact, and from a place of health, from a place of good health and wholeness of mind and wholeness of body and spirit and soul? What will it be? So I just like to share a few tips on some of the things that I did, right? But I mean, mine, it was drastic, so I don't think I want to talk about that part so that people don't think that is what you have to do. But one of the things that I realized was that sister, you gotta slow down. You gotta slow down. You've got to slow down. And so I took some personal steps, right? And it does not have to be what you do, but I'll just share some, a few steps with you that you can take. So one of the things you want to do is you want to get out into nature, right? You want to take a time out. And some of you have been at that job for a very long time. You've been working, even those that are working from home. and you are not resting. So there's something that I like to do on a weekend, right? So I told my clients, right, that I literally just started setting boundaries, because at first I was like, oh, I had to do this, so I was just giving them overtime. But I started to put in boundaries, and one of the things you're going to have to learn to do to be okay, even emotionally, is you need to set healthy boundaries, not just boundaries. You need to start setting healthy boundaries, such as learning to say no. Oh, I struggled with it. I struggled with saying no a lot. But I think that I'm gradually getting better. That I'm not saying no out of a place of spite, but I'm saying no because I'm like, okay, this doesn't serve me. And because I always want to give my optimum and my best at all times, I have to do the right thing. And I'm still learning it. So it's not like I'm sharing so that we both can be, on our journey. I'm sure we're definitely on two different journeys, right? But at least you get to learn this, and then you can move in faster, because I have already, so you want to set in boundaries. The first thing I said, get out into nature. Get out into nature, get out, let some sun. I know rain has been falling, but get some sun into your body. Just get out, take fresh air, just take fresh air, taking fresh air. Set boundaries, know what works for you. It's okay to say no. People will survive. It's okay to say no. You're not able to meet up at this time. So I was going to share something I usually do on the weekends, right? So because I work also, like from Monday to Friday, but I work remotely. So what I now did was I set time working hours for myself, right? Except on a special case when there's something that needs to be done with a client, maybe they have an event or something. That's when I go overboard, right? But then I started to put in work hours. Started to put in time, to some of the things that I do, so that I do not begin to be angry unnecessarily and say, oh, I'm expecting them. Nobody will know anything if you don't communicate it to them. So sometimes just communicate. Sometimes don't respond. Sometimes just turn off your phone and take time out to breathe. You can't be in your phone all day, every day. I got to a place where I started to have so much anxiety, always looking at my phone every minute, always looking at my phone. Sometimes I still do it, but I had to recall myself sometimes, like, girl, you need to drop your phone. Nobody's calling you. Sometimes I'll just drop my phone and just take a book. Sometimes I'll just drop my phone and just sleep. And just take breaks. You need to learn to take, even if it's a little break. And please, drink water. I suffered constipation so much that it was so bad, like literally so bad. So drink water, drink a lot of water, drink water in between breaks. Yes, I know you have to, go and pee a lot, but it's better that these things are flowing out of you rather than staying stuck on the inside of you, right? So if you're going through any of all of these things that I've mentioned, or maybe yours is not even that or something, but you feel like there's something you can pick out and inculcate as an habit, then start. Because trust me, you are needed, you are valuable. The people that you are responsible for need you to be alive. And you need you, first of all, most importantly, you need you. God needs you to be in good health so that you can best appropriate that which He has blessed you with. But you can't do that if you're ill. You can't do that if you're constantly in a place of depression. You can't do that if you're constantly feeling tired. You can't do that if you're burnt out. So I'll just leave us with this scripture, which is like my all-time best now. It says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. I know of a God who gives rest. I know of a God who helps to appropriate and helps you to put things in place and opens you up to information and knowledge and resources that will help you to gain knowledge and wisdom to be able to take care of this temple that He has given to you, to be able to take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, all round, so that you can give your best at all times and you can ultimately feel and be the best. I hope this resonates with you. If there's anything, if you'd like to talk, if you'd like to share something, I'm definitely available. Yeah. So till next time, I believe that we can end back to basics on this ground. If you have any questions, if you have anything you'd like to share, feedback, I really would love your feedback, just to know that, this is how my audience is, this is also the people, and I feel I mean, to be nice, to get your feedback. So yeah, till next time, till next week, by the grace of God. See ya.